So I wanted to show off the two decks that I recently talked about that are on the cheaper side of things. Unfortunately, Mrs. Space Bear is under the weather, so I didn't want to let that get in my way, so I decided to play a solo game. I already flipped for initiative, and Chewbacca won, and that first hand had no turn one plays. The second one barely does, but at least we got an Alliance Dispatcher. That's something. And on the Sabine side, also no turn one place. I did just have these decks in order, so maybe more shuffling would have been useful, but I think it was pretty close. Okay, that'll work. So I'm going to keep my hands over here on the right, and I'm just going to play both decks. This card we don't need for a long time, and honestly, probably the same thing with Obi-Wan. Interestingly, a Dispatcher can get us into a persistent patrol craft right away if he survives. This is not bad. On this side, Rebel Assault we don't need for a good long while. This is probably our first two turns, and then not a ton of red cards, so we're going to resource the fighters for now. Okay, Chewie plays a Dispatcher, Sabine plays a Battlefield Marine, claim and pass. I see no reason not to get out either the System Patrol Craft or Kanan. I think maybe Kanan is actually scarier because having that healing on board early is huge. So we're going to resource the Wilderness Fighters here. On this side, I think resourcing Dodonna is what we want to do. Okay, so Chewie's going to get Kanan in for 3. Sabine, oh, you know what? I missed. Sabine should have done damage to both dice last turn. Okay, Sabine plays red 3. Chewie claims, and then the Battlefield Marine is going to hit something for 4. I think we probably just want base for 4. And then Sabine hits both bases for 1. That's it. Chewie has initiative. Another round. Okay, on the Chewie side, we're resourcing 2, 4. It's kind of an effective 5. Unfortunately, there's no really good 5 plays here. I'm not sure that the resupply is going to help us much because we just need to let Sabine not run away with the game. On this side, red 3 seems like the resource. Okay. Since we've got enough resources anyhow, I think we scare that red 3 away with our System Patrol Craft. Which is unfortunate. But Battlefield Marine's gonna go ahead and swing for 4 again. At this point, Kanan probably takes out the Battlefield Marine, taking 3 in return, and we'll discard the top card of their deck because we have a Spectre. We get to heal 2 damage from that. Okay, the Echo Base Defender comes out to try to scare the Dispatcher from attacking. And I think that probably works. So I think Chewie just claims here, which is exactly what Sabine wanted. Because the Spec Force soldier comes in, makes the System Patrol Craft lose Sentinel. So red 3 attacks for 3. And then Sabine action, 1 to both bases. And then Sabine deploy, and Sabine hits for 3 more. And that's part of why this deck is good. It can get to 15 even after a 2-heal and Sentinel. Alright, that's it. See if Chewie can swing this around. Alright, we're resourcing to 5. Almost a 6, which could be a Sentinel and Akbar, which is pretty good. That might be what we want. So I think we resource. Maybe we resource the Defender because the Homestead Militia can actually take a couple hits potentially. Although he's just going to trade with the Echo-based Defender, isn't he? Let's do this one. Okay, on this side, resourcing to 5. We could Bright Hope and replay the Spec Force Soldier if he lives. It looks like he will. That's probably the play, so I'm going to resource the Echo-based Defender. Okay, Chewie is up, and there's a lot of good options. We can get a heal with Kanan. We can take out Red 3. We could Akbar to kill the Echo-based Defender. I think we probably need to get our attack off with Kanan while we can. So we're going to attack the Echo-based Defender. We're going to die, but on attack, we're going to discard another card. And we get to heal another 2 damage, which is big. Kanan healed for 4 this game. Then, I think our Spec Force Soldier sneaks in his 2. Because we know we're bouncing him anyhow. We'll use the Dispatcher to play Sentinel. No, we probably want to wait on that, actually. Let's just use the System Patrol Craft to take out Red 3. Get some raid off the table. That works, because now Bright Hope comes in and pulls the Spec Force Soldier back in hand to draw a card. Okay, now Dispatcher gets the Echo-based Defender out for 2. Sabine has to run into him, so she's going to deal 2 to the Echo-based Defender. She's going to take 4 back, and with her on attack, she's going to hit base for 1. And then we're very grateful. Now, this is interesting. We could Akbar or Strike True both get the kill. I think we want Akbar just to have more bodies on the field. So we'll hit Sabine with 3 damage. Take her out. Unfortunately, Sabine... Oh no, forgot we still have a play. Spec Force Soldier comes back in. Chewie claims initiative. And that's it. Looks like we're resourcing a resupply on this side. I don't think there's a whole lot of thinking to do on this one. And here we can get rid of the Sentinel again. We do have a base with 15 or more damage on it. So the Guerrilla Attack Pod can come in ready, or we could Fleet Lieutenant and For a Cause I Believe in. Those are probably the 2 strongest plays. We can decide which one we want to do later. Let's resource the Marine. Okay, so what would Chewie do here? If we dispatch, we can strike true and do a system patrol craft, leaving our electro staff for our Chewie turn, assuming we can survive. Right now, the Spec Force soldier has to hit Echo Base Defender, and Bright Hope has to hit the patrol craft. So I'm actually okay just hitting base for 4. And now we've got to decide if we want the attack pod, the Fleet Lieutenant, or for the cause I believe in. The Fleet Lieutenant damage is wasted right now because whether the Spec Force or Bright Hope attacks into the Sentinels, they're getting the kill. I think I'm going to go with the Guerrilla Attack Pod. And we can actually use Energy Conversion Lab to ambush it in, to, you know what, we should wait on that. This will be more fun. So let's swing with the Spec Force soldier first into the Echo Base Defender. So they trade off to get the Sentinel off the field. At this point, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's just attack base for 1 and restore 1. Now we ambush the Guerrilla Attack Pod in. So he comes in with ambush. He can attack either one of these guys. Even though the dispatcher's ready, I think the healing is worse. So we're gonna ambush Akbar, taking 1, and then we trigger the when played to ready. Pretty slick. Now I have no good moves to deal with that. So I think we just spend 3 on our system patrol craft. The Guerrilla Attack Pod is going to whack base for 5. And the patrol craft can trade with Bright Hope. Strike True can maybe save us next turn. So I think we need to claim because we need to get Chewie out before the attack pod keeps going nuts. Sabine will hit both bases for 1. And that's it. You know what? That's not it. Bright Hope would definitely take out this system patrol craft. Taking 3 back. Okay, now that's it. Okay, we're resourcing to 7. So we probably want Chewie. We're losing his ability, so the Wilderness Fighters are not as good. On this side, we're just looking for finishers, really. So it's probably this, if we have 7. The Fighters for Freedom actually could add some damage. Let's resource the red 3. Don't usually get to 7. That's part of the power of this Chewie deck. Alright. We've got to deploy Chewie. That's the first thing. The attack pod now has to come in at Chewie and would hit him for 5. And we really, really, really want to hit him in 1 shot. So we kept all these red cards for a reason. Let's play the Fighters for Freedom. We're perfectly fine with that. Chewbacca now picks up an Electro Staff. Now we're going to play For a Cause I Believe in and reveal the top 4 cards of our deck. Oops, that was 5. So we got 3 damage out of that. Because there's 3 heroism symbols, just 1 benthic. And we can put them back up on top or discard them. And I think we actually discard these 3. Put the Guerrilla Attack Pod back on top. And I don't remember to be honest, if I triggered the Fighters for Freedom or not, but I don't think I did. So that sneaks one more damage on. Chewie's got 5 left. At this point, we can strike true for 4, which won't quite kill him. Let's get rid of Bright Hope and take 2 back. Alright, now the Spec Force Soldier comes in, makes Chewie lose Sentinel, and triggers the Fighters for Freedom for another damage. 4 away, no Sentinel to block, but we saved a Sentinel. Homestead Militia saves the day. The Guerrilla Attack Pod can wipe him out and take 3 back. And now Chewie knows he's not getting swung into. So let's kill the Fighters for Freedom, I think. Well, actually, this guy hits for 8. That's fine, because he would swing for 7 against Chewie. And we have 11. So it looks like that's fine, even though we are in Fleet Lieutenant range. We're just trying to get that ping damage off the board. So we take 3 back. We get him out of here. Sabine's going to hit both bases for 1. And this is a 5 now. You can see the Chewie deck is hanging in there. Now we could deal 1, but I don't think we care. Maybe I messed up. I probably did. I probably should have dispatchered, which would have let me strike true as well. Oh well. So Sabine's going to claim. Okay. We're going to draw. And resourcing to 8, which this deck would love to do. We've got a redemption. Okay. So unfortunately, a Fleet Lieutenant into Guerrilla Attack Pod is going to make him attack for 10. 9 because I have the Electro Staff, but that's still enough to wipe out Chewie in the trade. Trying to clear the way here. Now, I think we don't waste any time. We just play Redemption for 8. Just to make sure there's not something funny with another For a Cause I believe in or something like that. And we're going to go ahead and pull 8 damage over here. You know what? I'm going to pull 7 just because it makes it easy so I don't have to redo these 10s. At this point, it's kind of a rebuilding game. Sabine has 4 resources. Can't play the Guerrilla Attack Pod. Let's attack with the Spec Force Soldier and just get this guy out of here. The Patrol Craft hits base for 3. We can use Sabine's action to hit both bases for 1. Chewie's going to claim. And we can Metal Ceremony for 1 experience. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. That's it. 2 cards. Okay. We're at 7 here. Guerrilla Attack Pod obviously looks like the right answer on this side. Here we're at 8. If we resource Akbar, we can get Obi-Wan and strike true out, which is pretty nuts. And on this side, I think we just hold. So I don't see any reason not to play Obi-Wan. For 6. Gorilla attack pod comes down and comes in ready. At that point, I think we strike true for 6 to kill it. Sabine's in trouble. She'll hit both bases for 1. Redemption hits base for 6. This is now a stack of 10. 4 away. I don't think there's any way for Sabine to win. Patrolcraft or just claiming initiative is going to do it. Chewie pulls it off.